Hey, welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise,
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
and we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Hey, Head.
Oh, what's up?
We are continuing the theme from last week, which is why we look exactly the same.
Yes, we had just so much information. We decided to turn it into a 3-parter.
So excited because man, the first one was so fun. But before we get into that, if you are not on our Discord, you should go join our Discord. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, you should check that out too. It starts at $3 a month. You get exclusive episodes every month. You get stickers, behind the scenes content. You get an exclusive playlist.
We get newsletter. We make a phone wallpaper every month. There's just some fun goodies. We also asked for input, like we did with this episode. We said, "Hey, what creatures would you like to hear about from Tatooine?" So we included several from your guys' suggestions. It's a fun way to get you guys involved with our show.
Yeah. And it also supports the show.
Yeah.
So we can get better.
So with that said, let's recap part 1. We talked about
Great dragons.
Great dragons, massives, dewbacks, skeetos, and the hoodoo. That was our bonus legends creatures. Maybe that's how they got their name.
Bird call, right?
Yep. They do kind of got that whole turkey rooster look going on.
Yep. If you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to the first episode.
Yes. All right. So we are on part 2. Continuing down the list, we have done creatures before, so I chose one from Tatooine from the previous episode to kind of kick this episode off. Would you like to take a guess at what Tatooine creature we're going to talk about?
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was almost like what's his friend, like the monkey. What's his
Salacious crumb.
Salacious crumb.
Oh
my gosh. I always like mix up all. Oh. Wow.
My caffeine is also kicking.
So we are very caffeinated tonight.
I'm drinking more caffeine as we speak.
So the first appearance was in The Phantom Menace. So we have the prequel era. And most recently we saw them in Kenobi. You have such a proud look on your face. Like, yeah, I love the Yopies.
I do.
I love the Yopies. You mean you can't find the gift I got you? Rude. No, I'm joking.
I don't been here somewhere.
I'm not too worried about
He's
it.
in there somewhere.
Okay.
Oh no, we might be outside.
They're also found in Clone Wars books and comics. They are native to Tatooine and used to transport items or mounts. They can be extremely stubborn and bad-tempered.
They fart.
Yep. Not to break wind if you work them too hard. Here's my comment. I said like a normal man. Or like a teenager.
Oh,
We're
like
not
like
just a teen.
boy.
We're gonna just leave it at that. Leave it at that. And not only would they fart at you, they would also spit undigested stomach contents when startled or angry. So like camel.
Kind of like camel. Yep.
I think of camel when I see
I
it.
do too. Yeah.
Like
In the desert, the mount.
I say they're very
camel had to be the
very
inspiration.
similar. If you see there in the bottom, they even have
Even
like
the face shape is.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got like camel absolutely had to be the.
Yes. Another little fun fact was I said this was in Phantom Menace, right? It was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Tatooine. But there was also like they were thinking about putting it also in the Phantom Menace. And it's on Naboo with the Gungans.
Okay.
So originally, that was the idea, but then they were like, "Oh, we can't really have like it doesn't make sense that they'd be on this desert planet and then on this
And
very
the water.
luscious
Yeah.
planet of Naboo." So they kind of created like a sub creature that's like long lost distant relatives.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why the Gungans mounts during the battle,
Yeah.
kind of look similar.
Okay.
Yeah. I could be making that up, or I can't remember if it's that one or.
Makes sense to me.
No, I think it is that one. Never mind. Yes, we're good. We're gonna go with that one.
I believe you.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Sounds right.
Want a fun little fact?
Always.
You're not gonna like this one. Some planets will eat them as a delicacy. I know. I mean, it's not surprising though. This isn't the first like creature we've talked about being eaten. The mosquitoes also, as fried meatballs. Yeah, that's true. Move along to Rontos.
Oh yeah.
Rontos.
Ronto.
This one.
Yep.
It
These
is-
are the rat. I don't know anything about them. Other than the Ronto rat that is here.
And we're back to food.
Yeah, I'm hungry. But the Rontos, apparently, I'm fine with eating.
I have like the best fun fact for this one,
Yes.
and you're gonna love it.
Okay.
But first, let's start with where was their first appearance?
Okay, give me a hint. Is it like a movie or a show?
It is a movie.
It's a movie. Old
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yeah, but not the
Oh, no
original.
The
But this,
remastered.
the special edition
Okay.
'97. It was CGI'd in.
Huh.
They are huge
Where?
outside Mos Espa
Oh.
before they go into Higher
Just
Han.
like wandering through the
Yeah.
atmosphere. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
They're a huge reptile of imposing size and appearance.
Look kind of like a dinosaur.
Has 4 legs, small eyes. Although my paper says ease, the Y was left out. And pointed ears and a beak-like mouth.
Pointed ears.
They're small
Oh,
pointed ears.
like a horse.
And beak.
That looks like a zebra.
Yeah.
From like their
The
back,
mouth.
that's
The
a
mouth
zebra.
looks like a zebra.
And then it's got like a interesting head.
Yeah. So they had excellent hearing and sense of smell
Probably like almost fully rotational
Yeah.
ears.
and great smell,
Okay.
but poor eyesight.
I don't know, like this big.
Yeah. So they were very skittish.
Prey animals.
We got despite being native to Tatooine, they required a great deal of water to survive.
Well, that's a bad place to be
Yeah,
from.
but that's where they're native and they need the water to survive. I wonder if they like go into people's moisture farms
I
all
was
the
gonna
time.
say that. That's where they get their water from. That's why the moisture farmers have such a hard time.
They keep going in and filling their water.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's where they got it.
Good job, Ron.
They shed heat through their skin and flap like folds around their face, so you can kind of see like the folds.
Yeah.
Which were also used to cover their eyes during sandstorms.
Oh, okay.
So they got some sort of intelligence. They have to if they're surviving on a desert planet
Right?
while needing tons of water.
Yeah, they've got to be smart because otherwise their species would have gone extinct very quickly.
I kind of wish we would have talked about this one last, but here we are. They were the preferred mounts of Jawas,
Oh.
easily domesticated, extremely loyal, and known for being strong and calm.
They're desert horses.
There's elephants.
Elephants. Oh.
Strong and calm. You don't hear those two together like very often.
Right.
All right.
Elephants are territorial.
So we're going to go into this fun fact, and I think this is going to lead to a very nice conversation.
Okay. Tell it.
Fun fact. All right. They are modeled after elephants, rhinos, and dinosaurs.
Which is, that makes sense. Look at this.
Yes.
And
yes.
the skin and the
Yes.
toes. Definitely elephant. Elephant tail.
So
That's
we're
a
going
T-Rex.
to work now. Let me finish. You are jumping ahead on this one.
I'm so excited. You said
Because
dinosaurs
I
and
am so excited about this fun fact.
Okay, let's go.
ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, modified the Brachiosaurus model from Jurassic Park to create the Ronto and was referred to as Bronto. George dropped the B from the nickname and the creature's name was born. So, in theory, Jurassic Park and Star Wars are in the same universe. It is canon.
Oh, yeah.
I have spoken.
Jurassic Wars.
Like,
Star Park.
we've used that one before. When did we use that? It was live. We did a live,
Star Park.
and we talked about Star Park. Was it when we were talking about the zoo from the High Republic?
Was it?
I think so.
We were talking, because they had all the
Creatures that
all the weird little
escaped.
creatures. Yep, and they all got out.
Yeah,
Well, they had a
during
little
the
help getting out.
Battle of Volo.
Uh-huh.
But we have referenced Star Park and Jurassic Wars before. And Kevin was involved.
That makes sense.
Kevin was involved.
Kevin, help us. Where did we first talk about this?
We've talked about it now. But yeah, so Jurassic Park and Star Wars
Definitely coexist.
are in the same universe.
That is so cool.
It's like my
Just
favorite.
isolate it. That's a dinosaur.
It is my absolute favorite fun fact that I found during all this. That's why as I was reading this, I was like, man, I wish we would have saved this for later. But like, we got other fun stuff in
That's
here.
okay. This
But
is so freaking cool. Like, literally one of the animatronics that was in Jurassic Park is now in Star Wars. That is I think I have said that is the coolest thing I've ever heard so many times.
But it is like they literally took that model, modified it, nicknamed it Bronto, took off the B, and we
Now
got a
Oh,
Ronto.
I love it.
Like,
I love
but
it.
I also feel like a lot of these deserty like type animals or creatures that we see kind of have that like dinosaur feel or elephant feel
Yeah.
because elephants have been used to model like banthas have been used. Margie. We've got this one. Even if you look at like the dewbacks, those kind of got a dinosaur.
Reptilian dinosaur. Yep.
So which makes sense that they would have some sort of like dinosaur-like creature because they repel the heat and they can live in those harsh conditions. Like we can't have a bunch of furred animals
No.
on a desert planet with 2 suns. That stuff will age
I
you.
understand how the bantha makes it.
Right, especially because they have a ton of fur.
I know. Well, it's got to be like with Nova, right? The undercoat.
Yeah,
insulates them
we've
from
talked
the
about
heat.
that. Surprisingly, I
Probably
don't
the
have,
last time we talked about banthas, probably.
I don't have any banthas for this series because we've talked about it a couple of times
Yeah.
before. But I don't know. I love dinosaurs. I have like a big tattoo piece of dinosaurs on so this is just like
This is like cool.
the greatest thing ever. And they were used as mounts to look. I want to ride a dinosaur.
Freaking same.
We
that's so
need
cool.
to create dinosaurs. I don't care what the outcome's going to be.
Nope, let's have it.
I want it.
I would immediately go to Jurassic
I
Park.
would.
Like, no question.
No question.
I would go and I would make friends with the T-Rex.
I-
How? With grapes. See, you would take us.
I can't believe you just went there with the grapes.
I took it.
You did take it. But like, I would 100% go to Jurassic Park.
Definitely, no questions. If I die, it's the coolest way to die ever. It's dinosaur. My name is Rexy.
He'll go down in history.
Yeah. The first dude to ever be eaten by a dinosaur.
Works for me.
Alright.
But I want it to be a. Although I don't think Grontons would be herbivores. I think they'd be.
Oh, Rontos look like they could chomp on some bones.
You think so? I think they
I
would
bet
be.
they're omnivores.
No, I think they would be herbivores, not omnivores. Maybe they can find the same grass patches as the dewbacks.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe like an omnivore, because the dewbacks don't look like they'd be a carnivore, but they're an omnivore. They eat the grass and the womp rats.
Oh yeah, they do.
These guys might.
Okay, so yeah, maybe omnivore, but I don't know. They need to eat something in between trying to search for water.
They need to help get some of that moisture. They may need to eat other creatures for.
But they can get that from the grass.
The 4 blades of grass that grow in Tatooine that they have to share with all
I'm
the
at this
dewbacks.
point thinking that there's some grassy field somewhere, and they're all living
like
an
the other
oasis.
side of Tatooine.
There's some sort of oasis on Tatooine
There's gotta be.
that
Otherwise, how the heck do they all survive?
there's gotta be an oasis in the middle of one of these deserts.
How come we've never seen the Tatooine? It's on the literal
Because
other
it's
side
always
of the
just
planet.
Mos Espa or Mos Eisley that is shown.
You know what? Mos Espa and Mos Eisley, they need back surgery from carrying this entire show. Show us the oasis.
They do. They do need back surgery. How do you give cities back surgery?
I have no idea. You just give them a break.
Give them a revamp. Let's
There we
just
go.
upgrade all their stuff.
Like, listen, if they have to carry the whole show forever,
Let's make them look less.
70?
No.
Oh,
I was gonna
decrepit.
say
Sandy.
trashy, but decrepit sounds a little bit better than trashy.
Trashed, maybe.
There we go. Yeah, close. Okay.
It's been through a lot.
They
And it's
have-
constantly being beaten by freaking sandstorms.
And they're in the outer rim, so they're not
Yep.
really.
they're not like in that direct supply chain. And
Yeah. So, all right. So, I have the next one. It's called Inebre. It's not it's called Nibre.
Oh, Libre. Okay,
I just said it's called Inebre, like
I got you. Yep.
Nibre.
Libre.
I don't remember seeing this in this movie, but I've also have not watched this movie since it came out in like 2008. The first movie was the Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie. So the movie where we first meet Ahsoka as Anakin's Padawan, the
I still
cartoon.
haven't seen.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I started watching. Is that
No,
the right
that's
one?
no. I'm talking about the movie that was released in the theater
Oh, okay.
like,
okay.
there's
Still
a-
haven't seen that.
with the baby Jawa. Roto, Jabba the Hutt's son.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him.
There's
the
rumors
book.
he's gonna be. Are you thinking of Churro the Hutt?
I was thinking of
It's
Churro.
not Churro the Hutt. This is
Okay.
Roto. And there's rumors that he's gonna be in the Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Okay. Probably.
Okay,
If
I just
had to
heard a
guess,
I heard a thud
the
and like,
blades and cuts go right here.
okay.
Okay, that's what
I was like, what is
And I was
going
like,
on?
Please don't come off.
Okay, so would you like to see what these little things look like?
Yes. They're so dirty. Oh, I love this.
So that one,
Weird little wings.
yes.
I love this guy. Okay.
Okay,
Look at
so
this.
they're flying, limbless creatures that vary in size based on habitat. So they
Oh.
grow to their
Okay.
surrounding.
Again with the reptiles.
So they
Like
can
a
be
lot of snakes and lizards will grow to fit their habitat.
very small, or they could. I don't know how large they can grow.
They look like in. Is that 3 eyes?
I don't know. Nope. I'm getting there.
Okay. Just staring at him like I can't figure this guy
Okay.
out.
They have
He looks
four.
like a fish.
They have 4 eyes that are used to spot predators, and large teeth and spotted patterns.
Okay.
They are biologically related to hibbees and minox.
I know. Okay. That's what the link. It looks like a fish.
He does look like a fish. But tibbies. Got my note. I got my note. Are giant silicone-based creatures from Stygon Prime and other outer rim planets. They've actually the tibbies, Tibidee, tibbies. They've been featured on several Robo episodes.
Okay.
So
Silicone based. That's just like the Minox.
just like the
Minox.
Minox, yeah. Which is weird to me.
I know, me too.
The
But it's because we're carbon based. We know carbon based, but we don't know anything else. It's kind of weird to try to figure
do we
out.
have any like actual animals on Earth that are like silicone based?
I don't know.
That's a very good question. While Rexy looks that up, I'm going to move on to our next fact about our Nibre friend. They are seen around Jabba's palace, and they can also be found on these names: Kalida Nebula, Rishi Moon, and Ragusa. There's not really any information on these.
Okay.
But which is funny. So they're typically found in space.
Okay.
And
like
around
just out in space.
And they're typically found in space and feed on space gases. So the fact that they're also on Tatooine is very weird.
Yeah. What do they do on Tatooine?
They hang out around Jabba's palace, but like maybe he's releasing some type of gas.
I bet he is.
But like, I think it's just one of those because every once in a while we'll get stuff that kind of has like conflicting information, or just like with the massives, they're found on two different.
Yeah.
I say countries, homeworlds, planets. Sometimes they're found on different, but they have like no relation. But yeah.
Okay.
Did you find?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. So
is it jellyfish?
No, there are no silicone-based life forms. So basically, the high temperatures, of like the planet that we have to deal with, and then the chemistry of the compounds that would have to interact with a silicone body in order to be able to like metabolize food or take in water or anything else like that would be way too high.
So then how do they survive on Tatooine?
It even has that in here too, like the concepts of silicone-based life is explored in science fiction, but is not a reality on Earth.
Okay.
However, some organisms like diatoms and sponges use silicone dioxide to build their skeletons.
Okay.
So silica, like, have you ever heard of like silica gel, the stuff that will dehydrate?
Yeah. I'm wondering what happened if they created this creature for like the Clone Wars movie, and then maybe somebody forgot about it, or like the physiological like components of it, and then added it somewhere else, and then they took off with that, and then now we got these. Gotta somehow like tie them together. Like,
how do we shoehorn in this ice cream maker?
How do we fix this? But I think they're cute. They look squishy, and I want to just like hug it and squeeze it and love it.
Like a derpy fish
that flies.
Is your face
like an axolotl?
Like an axolotl.
Face makes me think of an axolotl.
Yep.
Okay.
Just got more teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot more teeth.
So, all right. So we've done this creature number 3. We got our last canon creature for this episode. Which is the Tibidon sand whale.
Tibidon sand whale.
Or just called sand whale.
There are freaking whales on Tatooine
Well,
or under Tatooine.
I don't think of it as like actual like are whales in the water, but like
Okay, that's definitely what
stand.
I'm picturing.
I think of them swimming. Scrooge McDuck's it's gold.
I think sparkles, but like under the sand.
Oh. So okay, first appearance is in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
So that's where we have this.
Oh, okay.
We have the scene where they
the
are
things that look like sails.
harvesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And that was he was sneaking back pieces to feed the field.
he was. See how I did that? I've got the whale and the Yopi in
Yeah.
this same one.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are huge, non-sentient species that were about 300 meters in length and weighed over 4,000 kilograms. So to put that on Earth perspective, because I needed to visualize this, and
How many bananas?
I don't know if you needed to visualize
Yeah,
this.
because like
Okay.
like that's too big to meet. I need a reference.
So they're about as long as a blue whale, but only weigh as much as an elephant.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So to kind of put that even more into perspective, so we got an elephant, which is about
Huge, but like
that's about 8 tons. The 4,000 kilograms, about 8 tons. Blue whales, even though they're the same length, blue whales weigh like 200,000 tons. Like they are significantly more like heavier, which I'm trying to think of like how are they swimming through this ocean being so light, or through the sand being so light. You
like
think
how come they're not being crushed?
or even like you think if they're trying, like they wouldn't be able to have that like that weight to push them through.
Right. Unless
Unless there's a
sail type things, and
there's
maybe
a-
that like
unless there's the
Scoops it?
science behind it, I don't understand. Like if you know it, please tell me because my brain was hurting so hard trying to figure this out. They had flat bodies, so that would probably also help.
okay.
They're flatter.
Okay.
With a head at one end consisting of a mouth, 2 eyes, and a tail flute. The other end. That doesn't sound right.
Hmm?
I think I typed something wrong. And will Star Wars. Sorry, I just like took
No, it's
over because I think I typed something wrong. Tail flute to propel themselves through the sand.
Oh, okay.
Or air. So they would go in and out of like the sand and kind of. It makes me think of like diving out like dolphins.
Yeah. And then they have their tail.
Yeah.
That's probably pushing. I bet their tails are probably really freaking
Strong, right? I just realized I think I've been covering your face like that.
It's okay.
They had 10 wing-like.
Be my
They had 10 wing-like fins, 5 on each rib cage, and they used these with their tail to propel themselves.
That makes sense. So these are probably like oars.
I'm guessing then that they
they push and then the tail probably helps steer them.
Yes. They too are also related to the Tibdi.
Tippy.
And but known as the more massive relative.
Size of a blue whale.
You don't say.
Like a little bit bigger.
Just a tiny bit bigger.
Tibby was that the one that was like a meter?
No, these are the ones related. The Tibbies are related to the Nibre that we just talked about.
Yes, that's right.
The silicone base.
Yeah.
So, and that's yeah. I don't understand how like
it's gotta just maybe be from like vibration. You know, people being like, "What's this? I'm gonna take it over here."
I don't know. But it doesn't say this one is silicone based either, though. So it could be a different, some sort of, I don't know. Maybe they're just saying that they're related because they have so many of the same, like, similar DNA
Maybe.
that they classify it as, like,
Even though it's not
relative?
really the
Yeah.
same. Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know too much about science on that end of things. So if we're just spewing incorrect information, please let us know.
And if you know the answer to our questions also,
Please let us know. So, all right, fun fact. So this creature designed, we saw this happen in the last episode. No, not the last episode. Guess we did see this happen. Anyways, I got lost in my thought there. The creature design was repurposed from a Ralph McQuarrie sketch from Empire Strikes Back for a concept of a flying whale. So, which makes me wonder if the Purgles came from the that same concept
Had to have.
of the flying whale.
Thanks, Ralph.
I
appreciate you.
love all their concept sketches. Like, they're so good, and like,
One of my like favorite things was like at the end of the shows. Sometimes they'll show you like their
concept
art.
Oh,
Like for
yes.
When we got the concept art for Mandalorian.
I love the concept art.
Beautiful.
I wish more of the shows did that.
Me too.
Because I'd like to see the evolution from like the drawing, the concept to actual like on screen. Because sometimes they're very similar, but then sometimes they're like drastically different. Like even if you look at the concept art for Chewbacca, like you look like a dog face, like
it was
walking creature to this like hairy teddy bear that's like. I think they look extremely different, even though there's a lot of similarities. But
but it's cool to see, like, okay, it started here, and then
we got to this point. Yeah, so I think it's cool. I love again because we also had the Mastiffs were a repurposed design.
They used to be massive, right?
They were supposed to be even bigger, and they decided that they were too scary looking. They
wouldn't be effective.
Downsized them and put them onto a different planet, and so.
Vicious spiky gargoyle.
But like it just is really cool that because it shows how Star Wars they take things and they're not afraid to evolve what they're working on, or they're not afraid to change it, or even they probably had a lot of people putting input into this, and they're like, all right, well, this might not work.
Right.
Like,
or you know what, that idea is so much better. Let's move it over here.
Could you imagine them making space whales for Empire Strikes Back? I don't think they would have been able to pull it off.
No, I don't.
Very well.
I can't like. Of course, I mean they're in space, right? A lot like you could just have them flying around,
with
but
all
like
of
it
the
wouldn't
puppetry
add
that
any.
Well, and the puppetry that they had at that point in 80, like I don't think they could have pulled off like the float, like the
It would have looked a lot like Falcor. Have you ever seen Never Ending Story?
Yeah.
Like the way Falcor moved because he was a puppet.
Yeah.
It was like you suspend and you go back to when you were a kid and you watch these. Yeah, great. Now we can see like it's a little bit jerky and
I don't think it would have worked as well.
I don't know how they would have fit it into the story.
Maybe it would have been at some point when they were escaping through the like asteroid field.
Yeah, and just saw them like off the distance.
Yeah, possibly. This is the only time I could think of it
really
making
sense.
This is
a better impact though than we got.
Or maybe around Bespin, Cloud City.
Out.
I could see it there too. But I kind of want to look more into it now and see where like the original concept art was for. So with that, we do have our now legends.
Bone critter.
Okay, these ones you specifically called this one out. And our Patreon, like our Patreon chat on Discord. And I said, please pick from this list. And you said, mole creatures.
Yes.
The most ridiculous thing. So like there's mole creatures carrying R2 and 3PO. Rexy's gonna put up a picture.
Bring that picture back.
They've only been in Star Wars one time. And it was in a comic from 1986. Droids episode or comic number 6. Comic number 6 in the Droids series. It was literally only like one like box frame in this comic.
It's the one I picked.
It is the one you picked. So they were trying to take. So in the picture, we got these mole creatures. Yeah, because they're carrying 3PO above their head, so they're like the same size standing up.
Like an eagle.
Maybe a little bit taller. Taking 3PO to Goder. So they were moles who lived underground on Tatooine. Occasionally, surface dwellers would fall through the surface into their tunnels, and they would feed them to Goder, the acid lizard.
Dang. Okay.
It looks like, and that's what they're doing here.
They're taking him to Goder, the acid lizard.
They're offering the
R2
the golden god is being sacrificed to the acid lizard. I know. Yeah. They definitely take inspiration from Earth for some of these creatures. They make me think of like the naked mole rats, but they're cuter looking.
They are cute. They are very cute.
But yeah, so that was our bonus creature. There's not much like information on it.
Yeah. One box and one comic ever. What do you mean you didn't do a dissertation?
Yeah, they were taking it to their acid lizard queen.
Or droids.
We don't assume what it is. We just know it's an acid
lizard. Goder.
Yeah. So of these 5 that we discussed, which one was your favorite? Yelpies.
I really like. I mean,
I like the Ronton. The Rotos.
The
Rontos. Those are my favorites because Jurassic Park lives in Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired because I love the Yelpies. They got a special place. But now that I know about the Ronto and that it is like more than just a snack at Galaxy's Edge, I'm a little bit upset.
So you were eating the Rontos!
I was! Nom, 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 nom. And they were delicious.
But yeah.
Yeah, the Rontos are seriously very cool. I love it.
We need more. I'm sure we'll get more.
Probably.
But yeah, so this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was.
We got one more episode, you guys. And this next episode is call outs to like the original trilogy.
Ooh.
And I got some bonus ones that you probably have never heard of. I know you haven't, because I didn't.
Ooh. Okay. I'm very excited.
Finding the fun from our galaxy to yours. Always. Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo design by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peake. From our galaxy to yours.
May the Force be with you.
Always.